Hello. So, this is the reading of Chapter 1, Shattered Dreams, from the novel Requited Dreams, um, from my series titled Saga of the Phantom, Spear, and Melody Blade. I want to begin by saying that my dialogue is a little weird. So, if at any point you get lost or whatever in the reading, know that it would probably be a hell of a lot easier to read than to listen to. Um, all right, so here we go. Starting now. Chapter 1, Shattered Dreams. Eyes crept open, ice blue irises behind strands of black. The adolescent boy took a breath and lifted himself up on the futon mattress. Darkness surrounded him completely. Regardless, he focused on the mental pathways and manner required to light the candle resting on his nightstand using a basic spell. A moment later, the windowless room filled with yellow light gleaming off his sister's long golden hair, while she sat in a wooden chair by his bedroom door. Ignoring her mocking smile, he stood from his mattress on the floor and walked across the small room to his dresser. He quickly grabbed an outfit from the drawers, a plain white t-shirt, baggy black pants, and a black cloth belt to hold it all together. Her sweet voice rang in the back of his mind, though she only whispered, "You've been holding back." Her pause did not last long enough for him to formulate a response. "Why hide yourself?" "I do it naturally. I didn't want you to think less of yourself, though I never thought you would sneak into my room while I was sleeping, Ariel." He finished dressing by slipping on a pair of soft leather shoes, which he tied tight around his ankles. He took the time to grab two cloth sacks and pocket them before he walked past her to the door and slid it open. The hall was dimly lit by blue magic stones laid into the walls and echoed with the pattering of their shoes on the soft rug. The siblings sprinted past several doors and intersections. They raced down a spiral staircase at the far end, which led to their parents' grand hall. Only guards and servants currently moved about, while the large tables in the hall remained unoccupied. The siblings continued in a blur around the tables to the far corner of the hall. A metal ladder extended to the ceiling more than 15 feet above them, which they quickly climbed. The two stepped off onto a platform at the top and opened a door, which led out a short tunnel to a large balcony built into the cliffside facing a coastline. Their home was built inside the top of a large mountain on the coast of the Celtic Ocean. This balcony looked out over their father's lush kingdom, a view of tropical jungles along a beach of white sand stretching beside the ocean, down to a large river delta several days' walk from the base of the mountain. Farm developments were irrigated further up the river. The mountain had a long pier coming out of the base, inaccessible except through the city built below their home. Several people still walked the pier with dozens of ships docked. The sun was peeking over the horizon, casting orange from behind the waves, while only a few dots could be seen along the beach, indicating even the beaches had light traffic. She broke the silence. "How did you figure out you could cast silently?" "I just figured it was possible because Father can. So when they started teaching us magic, I focused on the feelings in my mind when I cast spells. I still only know the basics, but I've had time to commit most of them to memory now. Father says it will be my responsibility to protect our land." "I will help, Leo." Today is the day we go to the past ceremony. So much will change. Promise me no matter what paths are chosen for us, we will follow them together. He turned at the faltering in her voice, smile fading as he fell into her emerald eyes. He took a deep breath and turned away in reply. I will always be there for you. You're my twin sister. They laughed together, and she took him by the arm. Let's not be late for breakfast. Our journey begins today. The two returned down the ladder to the hall, growing in attendance. Their fathers noticed them and called them over with a hand. The two exchanged glances before making their way around his table to stand by his throne. His stone-gray eyes turned up to them, and he motioned them to lean in before he whispered with them. You'll find out soon enough, but you are not siblings. Ariel, you are the daughter of our king and queen. We were asked to raise you as our own, but the past ceremony will surely reveal all. We have grown fond of you, and you are always welcome in our home. Leonardo, you must protect her identity until she is ready. You are my heir, and will keep our promises to the crown queen. Leo's face turned to stone as Ariel went flush and shouted, What? His father stood up, towered above them both, and raised his voice. Not another word of this. You will depart for the past ceremony immediately. I've had your breakfast delivered to the carriage. She spun around and ran from the hall, holding back tears, as Leonardo bowed his head and replied firmly, Yes, my lord. He quickly followed after her, but she ran out the front hall into the main cavern. She was climbing into the carriage on the street outside as he reached the door. Realizations hit him and slowed his approach as he passed the guards lined with spears along the short path to the courtyard below. In this section of the mountain city, only the soldiers' barracks and forges were occupied. But it was still vast, laid out on a gentle slope before him, lit with large spheres atop tall poles along the lanes. He climbed into the coach, still thinking, It is sort of embarrassing, the intimate moments I've shared with her as brother and sister. Everyone always said we didn't look like siblings. He sat across from her as he closed the door and started to come to terms. She was wide-eyed, with hands gripping the skirt of her dress. She spoke through clenched teeth. What kind of joke is this? I don't think it is a joke. His response was instinct, but he winced at her expression of grief as the carriage started forward. He had not considered. She lost the only family she knew. How confused she must feel. His own feelings, swollen inside, came out in a whisper as she began to cry. I've always loved you. As a sister, yes, but my feelings for you have not changed. Even knowing we are not family by blood, I swear to you now, I will always love you. Ariel closed her eyes and slowly wiped her tears before she took a deep breath and pleaded. Everything is uprooted. It spins. I don't know anything anymore. If I'm a princess, how can we be together? I thought I could always rely on you, but now... My mother will surely call me back to court after the ceremony. She will probably marry me off for some political reason soon as possible. She didn't even keep me. She started crying again, but he crossed the gap and put an arm around her shoulders as he soothed her. It's okay. You know we will find a way. I told you my feelings haven't changed. I'll do anything you ask of me. She took another breath and looked up at him for a moment before she rested her head on his chest and whispered, I need to think.